issues that we're talking about, and they are here to help us even get more insight into that ban. And joining us this morning in the studio, I've got my two big men and uncles sitting right here. Uncle Sokrit Safo is here with us, and he's been part of this industry for only God knows when.
Uncle Sokrit and I spoke on phone without him knowing that it was me.
Oh, is it?
So I'm just letting him know on TV because I saw him.
He said he can't believe you.
I still didn't tell him that Uncle Sokrit, I was the one that spoke to you on phone. I was the one that spoke to you on phone about some copyright issue.
Oh, okay.
So you see, the world is very, very small. And we have Kofi Kapito, who is joining us this morning as well. He's very insightful on this particular topic. We'll also have lawyer Senna join us via, I don't know if it will be phone or Zoom, but he'll also be joining us. And then the man who took the issue to court, Mark Osai, he has actually given us his take on the court rulings. So we'll talk about that. And then we have our colleague who did a report on it as well. We'll take a look at his report and some reactions that have come in from some celebrities who feel that their food is being taken off their table. Now, the question we have asked and we keep asking is, who is even a celebrity? Now, if you go on Google and you decide to Google it, Google's definition of a celebrity, quite funny, you know. So this is what it says. Oh, where is it? It says, a celebrity is someone who is famous, especially in areas of entertainment, such as films, music, writing, or sports. I didn't see.
I beg.
Continue the conversation.
But I want to begin with Mr. Kofi Kapito. He's the CEO for Consumer Protection Agency, and he's very, very, very knowledgeable in these issues. Mr. Kapito, did we see at a point in time that we're going to go back on an appeal and we'll get to the results we've got into right now? You're very particular about this area.
You know, I'm not happy because you referred to Socrates as an uncle by media.
Oh, you are?
No,
Yes. You've been saying.
But you say...
From meeting you at
yes, I know, but she also said...
But I thought you were young. I thought you were young.
No, I'm older than him.
No, I thought you were young.
No, in spirit.
That's why I refer to you like that, because I know behind the scenes, like, we'll be driving like age mates, you know.
You know, let me tell you.
So you prefer the uncle?
Yeah,
I don't like the uncle. I like the bro. Yeah, I like bro.
At a certain age, uncle is fine. You know, you're talking about 2016, the one that you just read. It's funny. As far back as 2010, I and Guinness, Ghana Limited, had an issue.
On this side?
Actually, 208. Remember the can 208?
Yep.
And remember, Socrates might remember the billboards that had the black stars?
Yeah.
And Guinness stout was used.
Yeah.
I went to Guinness, and I said, I don't have a problem. You are in partnership with the black stars.
Exactly.
So I understand that you want to use their image to promote, but don't use Guinness stout. They say, oh, it's Guinness. I said, okay, fine. Then use Malta Guinness.
Guinness, yeah.
You know, they didn't budge. Luckily, I was traveling to UK. Happened to walk into the office of Diageo, the mother company of Guinness Ghana Limited. And I asked for the man in charge of the African market. So when he stepped out, I said, with all due respect, I'm here because I'm a Ghanaian, and because you think I'm an African, I don't know what is right. They say, oh, chill. I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Would Guinness UK put Rooney, Lampard, or anybody else at Trafalgar Square or Piccadilly Circus promoting Guinness? He said no. And I said, your company in Ghana is using my black stars. And that time, Sule Muntari was on it. Sule Muntari is a Muslim. He doesn't drink alcohol. I think there was another Muslim who was on it. You know, when I left the meeting, as I was getting into the elevator, Guinness Ghana Limited called me to say that the billboards is off. Because it is a law or a convention or understanding, like you said. Pregnant women, children, sports people, and celebrities. You mentioned about celebrities endorsing There's a variety of products. You mentioned the lady who did the first
Yeah,
one.
Lily.
Why wasn't alcohol back then?
Yeah.
So
And that's as far back as 1882.
but she did soap.
Yep.
She could have done alcohol. Probably that was when the bootleg years was
Yeah.
about alcohol, the prohibition time. But the question is, we need to safeguard our future. It's not about now. Making sure that the next generation, there are some things that are considered vice in life. Alcohol is one. Smoking is another one. Excuse my French. Even womanizing is another vice. And then gambling. I have a big issue, and I'm going to take that out. With all the media stations now promoting gambling.
The betting.
Yeah, the betting. These are vices. And children, nobody says an 18-year-old and above should not indulge in that. But we need to protect. That's why laws are made to protect vulnerable groups. And they are looking at vulnerable groups. And it's not just Ghana. You talk about
Red Cross.
Red Cross.
Yeah.
Red Cross doesn't do commercial on ABC
Oh, yeah,
or
that's true.
CBS
It's
or
on the social media.
you know.
So is it okay if it's on social?
No, it's not. I mean, social media is a different realm. Maybe the law will come after social media. I get to my point.
Yeah.
But as it stands, we have the traditional broadcasting. And it's the traditional broadcasting that, I mean, is out there as to the percentage of people in terms of numbers, social media, and the traditional, you know, nobody has come up with the data. But it's all this about these influencers, the word that you wanted to use, that it wasn't there. Because back then, there was no word like somebody referred as an influencer.
Yeah.
You know, so let us tread cautiously. I don't think the FDA is against my friend Socrates and his people from not earning an income. They said, you know what, this particular one, please work with us. Let's see how we can protect the future. And when they talk about their job, me, I'm not even worried about them. I'm worried about you people who think your income. Not you individual, but the stations. You see, when you self-regulate, the law doesn't come after you. The media houses has been warned about not doing certain things. And because they don't adhere, because the law is not there, they don't even want to self-regulate. Giba, I've engaged Giba on several occasions. Sometimes I even wonder if the National Media Commission even works. Because Sapon will tell you that he doesn't have what it takes to fight. But we have an institution called National Media Commission. Even programs are time sensitive. Programs. We live in a market that at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you see a show or a product that should not be aired. I'm not against the product or the show, but it should be time sensitive.
Yeah.
That is where I'll probably say I'm the instigator from this thing through Food and Drugs Board. And I am very happy this morning as I sit here. Because you know what? Mothers in Ghana are not angry enough. If mothers are angry, some of these things will, because at the end of the day, or parents, at the end of the day, it's our children who will suffer. There's a group in America called MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. A single lady whose child was knocked down by a drunk driver. And she pushed it. They realized that the guy's alcohol level, because at that time it was a certain high. She pushed it. Now it is almost negligible that you can't even go beyond that limit when you're driving in America. And it's a big institution called MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. Here, I sometimes ask my mothers, my sisters, my daughters, don't you sometimes feel like you need to protect? Because at the end of the day, whether I like it or not, it's supposed to be a partner thing, a man and a woman. But most of the time, I was raised by a single mother. My mother had 13 kids.
Wow. Kofi, let's actually take the report by our colleague Latif, who has been a part of this process. Please, let's take a look at it.
In a majority 5-2 decision read by the Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Tokonu here at the Supreme Court, she said that the directive by the Foods and Drugs Authority does not contravene Article 17.1 and 17.2 of the 1992 Constitution, as the plaintiff sought to put out when he petitioned the Apex Court. Speaking to journalists after the ruling, the representative of the Ghana Music Alliance who spoke to the journalists said this ruling by the Supreme Court would not stop them from continuing with their advocacy to get a win-win situation for the Music Association and the Foods and Drugs Authority.
The outcome was not to win or lose. The outcome was to have a better interpretation of what we can do and what we cannot do. And in this case, we still don't know what we cannot do or what we can do. So we'll definitely still go to FD and talk it out and see if we can have a better structure of what should be done or what can be done, what cannot be done. I mean, personally, if there was a commercial advertising or advocating for kids to drink, that would not be good, or seeing it in a certain way. But if we can have any other means where we can safely work with the brands without really getting to the kids, that's also fine. So we can definitely sit down with the FDA and see how that can be done.
George Kwe, who is a radio show host, spoke to journalists after the ruling by the Supreme Court and said that the FDA is already losing the fight, and he expects them to call the celebrities together to sit down and have a dialogue on this particular matter and not be at war.
Really, here's a fight that the FDA is losing already. Because if I attend an event and it's being sponsored by, what did you win? If I sit on radio and I read an LPM, what did you do? You understand? And then they would say, you cannot put an alcoholic beverage billboard within 200 meters of a school. When I'm taking my kids to school, do we fly? Do we fly from my house to that school? Do you know the number of alcoholic beverage billboards that I'll see on the road? When we stop in traffic, do I know what my kids are reading? So did you win or lose? It's in the newspapers. My kids will read newspapers. So really, what did you gain? I think the FDA really need to, I think they're in some kind of a box. It would be good if they came out and let us sit, let us judge, and let us find a common ground. Because at the end of the day, they aren't the only ones who have kids. We have kids too, and we'd like to protect those kids as well.
On his part, Labaran Musa, who is the director of Program Vision for Alternative Development, said since the FDA's directive became enforced, the extent of exposure to alcoholic beverages has significantly reduced, and public health is already winning.
Public health have won over, over interests of some few individuals and who are just, trying to amass wealth for themselves and not for the interests of the young people who are looking up to them for their interests. So when FDA have come with this law, we should applaud the FDA and then back them to do more to support public health.
Joseph Benny, who is Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs at the Foods and Drugs Authority, speaking with journalists, welcomed the ruling by the Supreme Court and said the authority will begin to take steps to plug all the loopholes that celebrities could maneuver to get away with endorsing alcoholic beverages.
If it's within the space of Ghana,
DSTV is operating in Ghana.
Yes, but we are dealing with it. It's not all. Once in a while, one of it filters through, but we are dealing with that, and very soon we'll have a clarity on that. With this very decision backing us, we'll very soon have a bit of clarity on that, because some DSTV they will claim that it is not coming from Ghana, but we know when we watch the World Cup, they never advertise.
To what limit?
So that is what will happen in Ghana as well. No matter where you are operating from, once you are airing within the space of Ghana, you cannot advertise alcohol using a celebrity or a well-known personality. So we'll tackle one at a time. So if we know that this is one source, we'll deal with it. If we get to know the other sources, we'll handle them as well.
The Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, only read the abridged version of the ruling and said that the full version of the ruling will be available come Friday, June 21, 2024. From the Supreme Court, Latif Idris reporting for Joy News. In a majority 5-2.
You know, there are things that goes on behind the scenes before we come on air. So it's pardonable, actually. So Latif is our correspondent, and he's a colleague, and he has been following this issue. The report is by him, and he's joining us via Zoom before we come and speak with Socrates in the studio, because Socrates will also speak on behalf of celebrities. Latif, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I hope you can hear me.
Perfectly, we can. Hope you're doing well. We hope you're doing well, Latif.
I'm doing okay.
Great. Now, the Supreme Court ruling that we had, 5-2, meaning that still the FDA ban is holding, and so celebrities cannot endorse. But you did say that the full ruling will come out today. What does that mean? Because we're deliberating on that during, the time we're watching that. Is there a report? Is there a report?
The report, yeah.
The report.
Yeah, so what the Chief Justice read was the abridged version of the ruling. And so after reading that ruling, one of the lawyers asked when the full ruling will be made available. And the Chief Justice mentioned Friday. So today, which is Friday today. Mm-hmm. So we expect that by end of day today, the ruling should be out, and then we will get to appreciate who a well-known personality is, or who a well-known professional is. Now, we kept saying celebrities, but in the FDA's directive, there is no mention of celebrity.
Okay.
It is well-known personalities and professionals. So the scope, as you would now appreciate, goes beyond those in the showbiz industry. It's beyond. The scope has been widened to capture professionals, other professionals, not only within the showbiz. The phrase is this, let me go over it again.
Okay.
Well-known personalities and professionals. If you interpret that, if you break down, you appreciate that it is not just those within the showbiz industry, but for journalists, for doctors, for mechanics, for politicians, for lawyers. Once you are a well-known person in a certain profession, you are barred from putting your face out there to undertake promotional exercises, to undertake campaigns that seek to promote alcoholic beverages in Ghana. Within the Ghanaian landscape, there is no way a well-known personality can undertake any promotional activity that seeks to promote alcoholic beverages. That is the bottom line. But the full ruling would make us to appreciate and understand in the Supreme Court's thinking and estimation who a well-known personality and professional is. I'm confident they would lay that bare for us to understand. Then the FDA will now, from there, go on with the implementation and clamp down on whoever would violate this ruling by the apex courts.
So let's talk about the ruling again. If the company, that's the alcoholic beverage company, decides to support or sponsor a program on TV or sponsor an event that is being hosted by a well-known person, is it permitted?
If an alcoholic beverage producing company decides to sponsor a well-known person to undertake a project, would it be allowed? Is that the question?
Yes.
Well, I am unable to tell. We have to wait for the full ruling to understand what that will mean, whether it will violate the law or otherwise. But let me just run us quickly through what the plaintiff sought to get the Supreme Court to do in his favor when he went to court.
Please go ahead.
So the plaintiff went to court and was seeking for 4 reliefs. One of the reliefs is that, which was the first, is for the Supreme Court to make a declaration that on the true and proper interpretation of Article 17.1 and 17.2, which guarantees equality before the law and prohibits discrimination against persons on grounds of social, economic status, occupation, among others. The plaintiff sought to say that the guideline of the Food and Drug Authority, which is guideline 3.210, is in contravention of that provision in that constitution, which guarantees all of us equal rights and for us not to be discriminated against regardless of our standing in society. So he wanted the Supreme Court to declare that that directive by the FDA is in contravention of the constitution. He failed on that score. B, he wanted a declaration that on the true interpretation of those 2 articles, 17.1 and 17.2, the directive by the Food and Drugs Authority should be declared null, void, and unenforceable, so that he wanted the Supreme Court to say that this directive by the FDA, we cannot allow it to pass. He failed on that score. 3, he wanted an order by the Supreme Court striking out this directive by the FDA completely off the books so that it doesn't exist at all, so that means people who are well known can go ahead and endorse alcoholic beverages, feature in promotions, advertisements that promotes alcoholic beverages. He failed on that score as well. And last, he also wanted an order of perpetual injunction so that forever and ever, the FDA, their assigns, their agents will not attempt to find any other means of arriving at this same cause of barring people who are well-known and professionals from endorsing alcoholic beverages, so that it will be perpetual injunction on the FDA and their assigns. Now, he failed on all those counts. In delivering the ruling, the Chief Justice said, the directive by the FDA does not contravene Article 17.1 and 17.2 of the Constitution, and that is final.
Interesting. So we had 5-2. Do you have any idea those who were for the 2? It means that it was not flawed entirely, if you ask me.
Yeah, you're right. So I didn't capture that. I was busy, typing the breaking story, and I missed that aspect of the names of the 2 judges who voted for the plaintiff and the 5 who voted against. But the Chief Justice herself voted against this particular plaintiff, and it was a female populated bench, if you like. We had 2 males and 4 females, if I'm correct, who sat on the bench on that day to deliver that particular ruling, which has now barred well-known personalities and professionals from embarking on any promotional activities to promote alcoholic beverages in Ghana. Now, the FDA says, if you watch DSTV, there are times that you see promotions or advertisement by alcoholic beverage producing companies featuring within the Ghanaian space. Now, this is in violation of this ruling by the Supreme Court. The FDA says they are now, with this ruling, they are now going to take up steps to ensure that whether it is a foreign produced content or it is locally produced, once it is within the Ghanaian landscape, they will not allow it to go through. So they are going to take further steps to make sure that whether it's on DSTV or any other cable, it is not allowed once it is going to be featured within the Ghanaian landscape. So they have a lot to do for this enforcement to be implemented and be effective.
Latif, before you go, I'm curious. How was the Chief Justice's demeanor when she was announcing the judgment? Was it that of anger, or she was a bit, indifferent about it? I want to see the level of anguish she used in declaring that ruling.
There was no anguish. She was calm, as you know, the Chief Justice. She was calm. The demeanor was that of calmness.
Okay.
And she only sought to find out the person who represented the plaintiff. If you recall, the plaintiff himself was not in court for this particular ruling. He sent a representative, Foliate. So Foliate was the one who represented the plaintiff in court. So when they mentioned the name of the plaintiff, he was the one who stood up, and then not only the Chief Justice, but all of, I think about 3 judges on the bench sought to find out his relation with the plaintiff. And he said they belong to the same association, the Music Alliance Association of Ghana. And they went further that they wanted the relationship between himself and the plaintiff. Then he said they are friends.
Okay.
So after that, they asked him to take a seat, and then they went on to deliver and the Chief Justice was calm about it. It didn't take much long for her to deliver the ruling. It was, I think, within a minute.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it was delivered within a minute because it's the abridged version.
Right.
So they
Okay.
didn't have to spend time reading what they didn't have.
Mm.
So it took barely a minute. After reading it, they said that the full ruling will be available today. So we are on the lookout for the full ruling, and we will make sure we give it out to explain further what this ruling means and the limitations and what's a well-known personality and professional can do and what they cannot do.
I like that we have to wait for the full rulings, because I have a lot of questions, but unfortunately the full rulings are not out. I wanted to even know if, as a celebrity, if you hold an alcoholic beverage and you take a picture, is it also wrong for you to do that? Maybe you are not being paid because that's not for promotional purposes, but you're just holding it and taking a picture. What implications does that have? Because you have a huge following on social media, but we are waiting on that. Thank you so much, Lateef, for joining us. We are very grateful.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Right. So, Socrates, your general take on what has happened, the rulings.
Why are you limiting me to my general take? And Uncle Capito was giving the free range to...
Mine too was a general
It was a general take.
I'm not coming to tell you the laws and the rules and regulations. I don't want to give you that for.
Anyway, first, as a father, I am so excited that there is some kind of regulation to control what is exposed to our kids. And as the chairman of the Film and Television Classification Committee, I am also excited that there is clarity on these things. But I am a bit confused about some of the technicalities in this. Talk of classification. We have some guidelines and technicalities we use in arriving at the ratings. Okay, so by this law, are we saying that how do we assess or grade a film that has alcohol in it, where you see the actor drinking? Is he promoting it? There is a party, and they have alcohol in that scene. What is it? Is it promotion? And you have some alcohol companies maybe sponsoring.
Because that's the question I asked. Yeah.
So product placement and all that. How do we handle it? So that is my worry now. If Uncle Capito can help me with that. Again, I was not in court, and I asked Uncle Capito of camera that was he in court. He wasn't there, but he was speaking. Yes. See, sometimes when you are in court and you read the final judgment, then you see the technicalities. Sometimes, yes, you may lose the case, but you have clarity in certain areas. I don't think Darlington went to court because he wants alcohol to be open. Already, there is a regulation that says that you cannot promote alcohol before
a certain time.
8 o'clock in the evening. So all these...
I think before 9.
8. No, 8.
8 is 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My wish is at 10.
Yes. You know what? I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink. I will never drink. And I pray that my children don't drink. And for now, I know they don't drink. Maybe I pray that they don't even drink when they are out there, because at home you don't know who your kids are outside. But for now, they've exhibited that they don't drink. I am happy about that. They don't smoke, I don't smoke. I'm happy about that. But I wish we will have some clarity on this law. If we don't take care, it will be in a certain way. Listening to the gentleman, the reporter, did he mention something about human rights in the judgment?
Okay, talking about that, we have a lawyer who is joining us on phone, and I think that he'll be able to answer some of the questions.
Because there's a human rights aspect.
Okay.
Where they say they don't have any, the Supreme Court ruled against them.
Okay.
So, because discriminatory, because
out of the four reliefs that they did.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go on phone and speak with lawyer Sena. Hello, good morning, Sena. Oh, on Zoom. It's been a while, Sena.
It has been. It has been. A pleasure talking to you and the team again.
Same here. Have you seen the full report?
Well, by report, if you mean the ruling, no, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Or the judgment, no, I haven't. I don't think anybody has. From the reportage we have received, it should be available to the public today. But the abridged version was read by Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice at a Supreme Court some 2 days ago.
Okay, so with what you have seen, please, some people still don't understand because, when it comes to court rulings, all we know is, they said that we shouldn't do this and that is it. It comes to an end. Socrates was asking some questions and we actually told him that you are joining us via Zoom, so you'll be the right person to answer. Socrates, what was your question?
It was not a question.
No, it was.
You said some technicalities.
Yeah, the technicalities in this
talking about
judgment.
Product placement.
Product placement in
movies and
content.
Okay.
Not just movies, in content.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
Sana, you have been practicing law for a while. With what you have seen, could it be that maybe when the final rulings comes out, we'll see something like even product placement will be banned? Celebrities can't even hold drinks to take pictures and post on their social media pages. Or you think that it will still be as it used to be, where it was only promotional purposes?
Well, I think I speak for the rest of the Ghanaian populace when I say that, yes, we are hopeful to see something like that in the ruling, but I doubt we will get that kind of detailed clarification simply because of the nature of the request or the reliefs that were sought for by the plaintiff. Because the plaintiff, as Bamba rightly said, were seeking about 4 or so reliefs, including the injunction on the perpetual injunction on the FDA, to stop them from preventing celebrities and well-known personalities from advertising for some of these alcohol bodies. So I don't think we may be seeing that. However,
okay, I think Sena will join us sometime.
We lost him.
Technical issues happen.
Yeah. We lost him.
So for me, this judgment is, let's wait for the full judgment, then we can appreciate. But if you don't take care, I see it like an octopus with so many arms that it may grab certain areas that we may feel a bit disturbed if we don't take care.
So Nigeria has actually banned smoking. They've banned in music videos and skits. They've also banned the use of alcohol, and they've banned other things. In 2018, Tiwa Savage's song, Tiwa's Vibe, was banned from playing on local television stations because of alcohol. Mr. Capito, you think this is where we're even supposed to be in the first place?
We should have been there. We should have been there a long time.
What we're arguing over.
We should have been there a long time. Let me tell you what. Because sometimes we take things for granted in this country. Nigeria's Association of Advertising.
Yeah.
Do you know they have the powers of a high court? That if you are not a member of the association and you put any advert that contravenes with rules and regulations, you'll be held accountable. Ghana, through is it the
Held accountable by who?
AGI?
Yeah.
AGI, they have the rules and regulations.
No, held accountable by who?
By
the association.
By the
By the
association.
association.
They have the powers of High Court. They came to Ghana. I mean, I was part of it. We were trying to put, it's still in Parliament. Some of the regulations that will govern advertisement, it still hasn't passed because it's under the Ministry of Trade. And it's being pushed that even the Advertisers Associations themselves wants to regulate themselves. So that when you regulate, you don't fall foul of the law. The question you are asking, like I said, it's not about depriving somebody of livelihood. It's protecting children who will come after us.
Why are the celebrities not seeing it the way you are seeing it?
Seeing in what?
The way you are seeing that we're protecting the lives of others that will come after us.
Because it's money.
No, it's not about that. It's not about. No. It's not about that.
So
discrimination.
Why are they reacting the way they are reacting to it?
The reasons they put that is they are being denied.
You are denying me by allowing somebody to or someone else to gain. Like they talk about the billboards that, okay, you can put a billboard maybe 200 meters away from a school.
And a church.
It's
not just a school. And a church.
Whatever.
Look, the rules are there. I'm talking about the rules.
No. Okay. You see, 200 meters away from school. Why 200 meters away from school? Are you telling me that they from home, they don't see the signboards? They will see it, like George Quay was trying to put it. So if you are banning it, then ban it. Completely. But you can't stop me from doing it on our local channels, and DSTV will come with it.
What did they
have? Budweiser.
That also has been taken care of now.
Why didn't they do? No, not for now. But they are still showing it. So the moment you come after me, go after everybody.
No, but now they are going to go after them.
You say?
Now they are going to go.
Why now? Why didn't I do it until you are able to get the law and then we all stop?
No, they have the law already. You took FDA to court.
If they have the law already, why was DSTV still showing them?
Listen.
Why was DSTV still showing them?
It's not the FDA. Who was the plaintiff? They took FDA to court.
Yes.
Well, FDA is a defender.
Because they realized that FDA were discriminating. That is why they went to court.
And the Supreme Court has decided, so finito.
All right, so let's finish with Senna. He's joined us again. Hi, Senna. Sorry for keeping you waiting. You were making a submission and then it went off.
Yes. So I was saying that we are not likely to see the kind of detail you are requesting for, you are hoping for in the ruling. However, that mandate or that remit lies with the FDA. And I think it's what in the exercise of one of those mandates that the plaintiff took the FDA to court. And so the FDA has the power to give the framework to decide on how the entire landscape will be in respect of whether when it is shown in movies, it is they will ban it from it being shown in movies. They will ban it, totally as ads all over the place, or they will still maintain the 200-meter billboard, things that we currently have. I must say that the matter that actually went to the Supreme Court, you might be, we are all excited, and sometimes we do not clearly understand what the real issues were when it went to the Supreme Court. The main issue here was that guideline issued sometime in 2015, 3.2.10, section 3.2.10, which specifically prevented celebrities and well-known personalities from advertising for these alcohol brands. The matter at the court, or for the court to look out for, was that particular part of it was discriminatory. And indeed, if you look at the entire guideline, it's actually regulating or is seeking to give some directives on how alcohol should be advertised, how some of those brands should handle it, what time of the day they are allowed to do that. Now, the court, in its wisdom, looked at the whole thing, and this is subject to looking at or reading through the full ruling. But I mean, the law is trite, and then you can always, based on precedents, be able to understand some of the rulings. And the very fact that there's been 2 senior members of the bench giving a dissenting opinion alone tells us how passionate we are about this. But if you look at it, the law is that discrimination, all persons are equal before the court, and all persons are equal. So the plaintiffs were actually looking and arguing the equality before the law argument. But the courts have also told us in a number of cases, Nate and Gatti, amongst others, that when we talk about the principle of equality before the law, it's not blanket.
Okay.
So the principle of equality of the law doesn't necessarily mean that we are all the same, but it says that we're all the same within the category we find ourselves. And so when the court also sits, not only as a court of just law, but a court of policy as well. And if you look at what was happening around 2015 when that directive came out, those who can remember will note that there was a lot of advertisements of alcohol-related things within the airways, and then there was a talk of one very popular celebrity who I don't want to mention names, who did a lot of adverts for non-alcoholic drinks for children and was within that space and wanted to do one for alcohol. So the implications were dire, and so the FDA had to step in. And so when the court sits, it's also looking at all these, circumstances around it and adding it to its body of knowledge to give clarity to the provision. And that was what it did by coming to the conclusion that the provision, the directive given by the FDA is not discriminatory. And let me touch on one thing Bamba said before we move away. The directive actually explained who a well-known personality is, actually. So it didn't leave it blanket. Now, when you look at page 4 of 11 of the directive, it defines a well-known personality to include any person who arouses sufficient interest in society.
Okay.
This may include historical, political, religious, academic, cultural figures, as well as celebrities and sports figures. And so that tells us
let me ask you this. If I am not somebody that attracts, public attention, and I get a contract to do this, to promote it, 2 months down the line, maybe I signed 2 years contract, 2 months down the line, out of nowhere, I blow. And I've collected the money already. What happens? Do I go and cancel my contract? Or FDA will say, because I've already signed this contract, I am permitted to go on with the promotion. And when it's done, I can't renew.
And you've signed a 5-year contract.
5 years, 10
after
years? What happens?
After 2 months, the adverts catches fire and everybody is following you.
Which
now...
Which person signs a 5-year contract in Ghana?
Some do.
Who?
Please.
Like who?
Some do.
Please.
Like who?
Hey.
These days, the celebrities don't want to sign such long-term contracts. But yes, I understand.
No, if the money is good.
If the money is good. Renewable.
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. It comes to see you. Even if you sign a 2 years contract, which is very normal.
Yeah, because in Ghana, people blow in 2 months.
Can I give a simple example? You remember Michael Powers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Guinness, in South Africa.
Yeah.
Where's Michael Powers? The moment he became famous, they dropped him.
Says who?
Yeah.
Oh,
Says who?
Okay.
He's finished his contract.
Make your point.
He's finished his contract.
Seen anybody?
I just
finished.
I want to,
no.
Please, I want to wrap up with Senna and then.
But not just now.
Because if not, you get
with
opportunity
him. Okay.
to speak.
No, he wants a call from me.
Senna, please answer the question for me. Your sound, please. Please check your sound.
Okay.
Uncle Capito. Yes, once before you, I mean, the directive is saying that if you arouse sufficient interest in society, if you arouse sufficient interest. So at the time when you picked up that contract, you did not arouse sufficient interest in society. It was okay. But the moment you begin to arouse sufficient interest in society, then I believe that you begin to fall squarely within this remit that the Supreme Court is saying that you should not and you must not, advertise. And there are sanctions. There are first punitive financial amounts that you have to pay, for which if you do not, the law allows the FDA to commence actions, and then you can have a criminal actions against you, for which you can actually go to jail.
So it means that you have to go and end the contract?
Yes. I mean, return part of the money. Effectively, if you don't want to go to jail or you don't want to pay those penalty units, then you will not, you do not have to continue. To be safe, you can apply to the FDA. I'm not sure if they have those modalities in place yet to find out if, at this point, the FDA must also let the public know the criteria of what, they must give us a bit more detailed of what a sufficient arousal of public interest means. At what level do we say that you have sufficiently aroused public interest, so that we all know the goalposts, and the rules before we start.
Okay, Senator.
I think that's what it is.
Unfortunately, we don't have all day, which I wish we had all day, because this conversation is too sweet to let you go.
For more conversation.
But we'll have to say a very big thank you for joining us. We are super grateful. And we'll definitely call on you again.
A pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too, Senator. Back in the studio.
But you see...
He still disagrees.
Yeah. So you see, this is where the point is. I don't think any celebrity out there is interested in we promoting alcohol and introducing it to children. No. But when you come up with a regulation that is discriminatory, that is where we have the problem. If in Ghana we all say that, look, we don't promote alcohol, just like we don't promote cigarettes, hallelujah.
Yeah.
We will all go by it. But when you come out and you are discriminating, that is where the problem is. So it's sounding like celebrities want to promote or come out. That's why I was asking, were you in court? Did you follow the arguments and all that? No. But everybody is making it sound like everybody is making it sound like alcohol. Yes, if it's free,
the decision is that
I don't care about your feeling. I care about what the court said. I get to my point. That's why they went to court. If not, they would have look. So the giant was asleep. Let me tell you people something. Like the lawyer was explaining, if you are not careful, based on this judgment, the FDA will be empowered so much to introduce certain things that might be more extreme. Because now they have the power. Look, I tell people, if you self-regulate, the law doesn't come after you. Okay? And that is what we don't do as people. Okay? And sometimes the law always catches up. You might start something that there's no law, but the law will catch up. All I'm saying is, I feel your pain. But what I'm saying is, you are making it look...
No, I don't think you
There's one... Let me explain.
No, it's not true.
Let me explain. There's one guy that, to me, I don't understand why every commercial is given to him. Acrobato.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Hey, why?
I'm not... It's a fact. It's what I have seen.
And you don't like...
You are saying you don't understand why.
I don't understand. No, I'm trying to make a point that if all things are given to him, how come the other celebrities? Let me finish.
No, this sounds like you are jealous of him.
I'm not. You're not.
No, he's saying that he may have been doing something right.
He's doing something right. Precisely. Acrobato. From paint to polytank.
The name is Acrobato.
Acrobato, but he says whatever it is.
No, he says Acrobato.
I'm not his father, so I can call it.
But don't change the name.
Soccer, please let him make his point.
His points are not valid.
No, because
you see, the question is, if the law catches up with you, then you know.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point? You can sit here and
don't
flex.
get to the point
No, you can sit here and flex and everything. But there you go do it. Are you getting my point? We have to obey the laws and the regulations of Ghana. You might not like it. I agree with you. Some people don't like the fact that Ghana says they are going to now legalize marijuana. But if that the law allows, who are you to say no?
Yeah.
Are you getting my point? Let's look at the law. I'm not saying that what you are saying might not be right, but we are talking about what the law says now. Maybe in future, the law will be changed.
But are you in agreement of, legalization of this marijuana?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you talk about legalization. You see, it is the punishment put on certain people. If somebody is smoking a joint of marijuana, why go in jail in 5 years? The only way it becomes a problem in his own jurisdiction is when it becomes with intent to distribute. That means there's a commercial value.
Okay.
If there's no commercial, and it's a personal thing, maybe it helps you ease your joint pains. Maybe even a doctor has even recommended it for you.
What was even legalized was for medicinal purposes.
No, that's what I'm saying, precisely.
Yeah.
But some people can smoke it for pleasure.
Yeah.
If I smoke a joint once a day, that is fine. It becomes complicated when there's that charge of with intent
The sale of it.
to distribute.
But if there's no distribution, how can the user get it?
You see, this man.
Then we all have to be ganja farmers.
This man, he will get in trouble when the court is not open.
Because if there's no distribution, how can they
How will they get it?
You know,
there's secret distribution there, right? That's what
Well, it's just like saying that...
let me tell you something. The Quebec Protocol, which Ghana is a signatory to it, on 11, it says neither packing nor communication of alcohol beverages should have characters who have influence on the youth, such as footballers, radio and television, talk show hosts, doctors, film and theater performance, politicians, etc.
You took it from Google.
Oh, but no,
And Ghana
it's the law. Whether it's Google or no, you Google to search for things for your things. So if I'm Googling, I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
All I'm saying is, I would want, and even including the Ghana Advertisers Association, practice page 12, 4.3 and 2. It also states categorically that no advertisement for alcohol beverage will be allowed in children's religious sports programs. Children professional
sports programs, English Premier League.
I'm reading the law. Let me listen. You remember UEFA?
Yeah.
Wasn't it sponsored by Heineken?
Yeah, Heineken.
Did you see any
No.
footballer? They just put the bottle. You see, it's the personality.
No. Read that portion again. No.
Oh.
You see, it said no adverts. No adverts in sports programs.
No, because children. It put a caveat. Oh, so great. Okay. Let's look at the law and let's talk about it. Stop talking about the emotions.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to beat people every day, but the law doesn't allow me to beat people.
No.
Because I see people misbehaving on the road.
Yeah.
But I can't beat them. I get to
exercise patience. Okay. I'm rather helping your
You're not
case.
helping me because you didn't even allow me to.
Okay, what did you want to say?
What I'm saying is that I saw in there what he's reading, that no adverts in sports.
Can I read?
Jonathan, just like the English Premier we see or UEFA, these things that we see.
Okay.
So DSTV is even flouting the law in Ghana. That is what I want to help you.
But that is what FDA is saying that they will.
So why didn't they wait until they bundle everybody together?
Are you the one to tell FDA how to do their job?
Then that is where the discrimination comes in.
That's why
it's not discrimination.
You went to court. FDA didn't go to court.
No, you went.
Yes,
you and your people.
Yes, because
we the people.
Because yes, we the people went to court, including Kofi Kapito.
Yeah.
We all went to court.
Yes.
Now we have clearance. So this advert will not be shown to my children at home again. That Budweiser
Exactly.
I'm with the FDA because.
And who is against FDA here?
I'll be honest. I have been on their necks. Because, let me finish.
Who is against FDA here? Nobody is against FDA. We are all for FDA.
It's okay.
Abigail and their homecoming, if you don't let them finish, we will not talk about it.
Okay.
It's okay. Let me explain something to you. And this is something that is very common. But do you know there's a law against sending a minor to go and buy razor blade?
Yes.
You send them all the time. You see, the laws are there. The fact that it's not being enforced, that does not mean you can do it. So if you don't do it, nothing happens. When I was a kid, my uncle would send me go and buy me jot. And he says, light it before you come. 6 years old. Okay?
That's dangerous.
Do you know why George Floyd was unfortunate situation happened? The state that he was,
Minneapolis.
The law says that to prevent people from smoking, you can't sell cigarettes by the stick. So that if you don't have money to buy the pack, you don't smoke. Then he went and bought it. He was standing on the corner selling it by the stick. That is his ordinary. Yeah. It's not that he did anything anything that bad, but the law prevented him by doing what he was doing. And unfortunately, this police people was too excessive and took it to another level. Let's obey the laws.
Let's obey the law.
Okay. Afronita and Abigail have a homecoming.
Yes,
tomorrow.
That's tomorrow coming up at Legon Mall. That is in front of the Legon City Campus. We are organizing a concert for Afronita and Abigail tomorrow by the GTA. And we also have on the bill Keche, Oliver the Boy, Kidi, EL, Olive the Boy.
That's why you get in trouble with the law.
Kidi, EL, Guru, Efia, and they are all coming up. And we have a lot of other artists also. And we have one big surprise act.
That's great.
Yes, one big. We don't want to mention the name.
What's your question?
No, let me finish.
I just want to...
And we all know what...
I'm trying to understand something.
Okay.
The two young ladies.
Yeah.
Yes.
The younger one.
Yeah.
Abigail.
And then the older one.
Afronita.
Are they all went from Ghana to that place?
Yes.
Or I was in the impression that the young one was in England.
No.
Okay.
They were all
She was even here.
She was even on the show.
The show this morning.
I promise, when they come, I'll give them 2,000 cedis.
They are give it to me. You can give it to me. They are here.
I'll give you more.
No, they are here.
Let them come, and then they know that Uncle Kofi Kapito gave.
Yeah, exactly.
What I mean is that they are here in Ghana. They came last Tuesday, last Monday.
When are you doing that thing?
Tomorrow evening.
You'll be there.
I'm there.
Yes.
You'll be there.
Give them the money.
Okay, I'm going to reserve a seat for you.
So that's a surprise act, right?
Yeah, one big surprise act. And
right.
I don't want but the name starts with...
What time is it starting?
You there?
Time.
It's 6 o'clock because we have a minor. That is Abigail who will be performing. So come early.
So what time will Abigail go?
We'll do what?
So 6 p.m.
Abigail go home. He will go with the parents. So that one, I don't know. I'm not a father.
6 p.m. it says.
So tomorrow in front of
all right.
Legon Mall.
So that small time will permit us.
And Kofi Kapito
will be there.
Will be there with his $2,000 $2,000 cash. And he said $2,000 cash.
Before we end, we had a conversation with Mark Osai, and so we'll play that conversation. But I want to say a very big thank you for sticking and staying with us from beginning to the end, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here.
I should pick it.
So you can. So please don't tune out Mark's interview where he spoke about what he thinks about the court proceedings is going to be played. Enjoy the rest of the day. My name is Roslyn Felly. Here's KMJ. Bye.
We were motivated to...